All right, so that's it. We're live. So today I'm flying solo. So it will be a Solana Smoke, just me, my cigar, and of course some great content that we'll be reviewing today. So just to start off, what are we smoking today? So we're going for a nice little Cohiba Siglo #1, and so that will be my guest for today. So lots to cover. I discovered a lot of very interesting podcasts as well this week. Solana Global is a very good one to follow on Spotify. I think the guys at Solana Floor are as well pushing a lot of very good content. And so yeah, let's go through it. So the first article that we will be actually having a look at is something that I think is very reassuring and I think very interesting. Is as you can see, Solana staking is now reaching some very high level. So we're at the 2-year highest level of staking according to Marinade. And I think this graph really says it all, where we can see that the staking ratio for Solana, we're up at 70%, nearly 69, 70% compared to either BNB or Ethereum. So I think this really shows this all-time high. It's people prefer to stake, so they're not selling, they're not even thinking about it. They're in it for the long run, and they want to make sure that the blockchain, the ecosystem is secure. So very good for us to see that, even if the price, of course, we're down maybe, I would say, close to 50% from the all-time high, but we're having this range now around the 130. So I think this is where we're really seeing capital is deciding to really stay on chain and be staked. So in here as well, I think this is really helping the Marinade and all the liquid staked token, showing that although the stake rate is kind of hovering between 65 to 69, we can see that over the last 2 years there's really be I think an increase in the liquid staking. So I think that's super interesting to note. I think it shows again a bit like what we were talking last week about tokenization, that people want their asset to be used. This is why they're taking it into this liquid staking. And so yeah, that was a very interesting one. So now let's jump into another quick video. So we will be talking now about Solana Seeker. So yesterday, 21st of January, we had the launch of the airdrop. So let's have a quick look at a short video from the guys at Solana Floor. So that was from Breakpoint, but of course, it's really just showing us the talk that they had at Breakpoint. And I am having, here we go. So here we are. Let's have a quick look at this short video, and then we'll talk about it together. All right, this didn't work. Let's try again. So we are now sharing this one. Yes, now we are ready. So who do we have here? We have one of the Seeker founders and the guys from Solana Floor interviewing him at Breakpoint.
I want to ask you about the growing hardware ecosystem as well, but this is one thing that I just got handed. It's a screen. It's a little privacy thing.
Oh, cool.
So obviously people within the Solana ecosystem are going out and doing things by themselves. You can just do things. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Have you seen other submissions of people come out to you and said, like, look, I'm building a case, I'm building this, I'm...
100%. Yeah. Everything built on Solana is done out in the open in a permissionless way. Hardware historically hasn't been, but we wanted to change that. Yeah. So early on, we published the specs for the phone. We said, if you want to make a case, if you want to make a screen protector, here is everything you need. We're not going to lock it up. And so we've seen teams do screen protectors, cases, you name it. It's been great.
Super exciting. Okay.
I just want to jump in quickly. This is the
I mean, as we can see here, really the kind of openness, permissionless ethos of Solana really being transcribed into more hardware. So I think the Seeker, so it's the second phone that kind of Solana based. We had the Saga as the first one, but the Seeker has clearly been upgraded. I've seen it in person in Istanbul, so it was very, very interesting to get hands-on on it. And I think here what they're seeing is really powerful. It's telling us, okay, we're not going to be like the Apple or the Google trying to lock the ecosystem, but we really want everyone to take part of it. And then the second announcement that they do, you'll see about the airdrop. It's really in this same idea.
first large-scale event since these shipped out.
Yeah.
So obviously people have probably got a mass amount of feedback, and they see you walking around, they know your face.
Yeah.
Have people been coming up to you and saying, "Look, this is the greatest crypto photo"?
Yes, totally.
What's the feedback?
Before any previous event, it was come up to me, take a picture. When am I getting my phone? Now it is, oh, I love this, I love that. Have you guys thought about doing this? Have you thought about doing that? I think by and large, people love the phones. And we've seen that in the data, right? We know that there's a lot of people using these all the time, but to hear the qualitative stuff from people directly, here's how I'm using it, here's how I love it, has been incredible. It's like the best part of coming to these.
Just what are people using it for at the moment? Is it?
So I think, these conferences are really good for that, really getting the community together. And I think it's really helping the Seekers team to get feedback, right from the users. And it's something that I think is way more difficult to go if you're talking about like an Apple iPhone or a Pixel phone. Of course, they're doing surveys and everything, but I think the Seeker phone, by really integrating the community and the phone manufacturers and as well the developers all in one ecosystem, I think is really helping to make this product super cool.
As a wallet, is it sort of on the go, making payments? I guess you have that granular data.
Yeah, we do. We have a bunch of different user types. I think the two big ones are, one, we have a lot of people who are trading on the go, right? So it's like, crypto markets are 24/7. You can't be on your desktop 24/7. And so people are bringing their phones, they're trading. As news shifts in the middle of the night or the middle of the day, they take advantage of it. That's one. Second, we've seen a lot of games. Mobile's a really great platform to build games on. We've obviously seen it over the last 20 years. There's a lot of really interesting games that have been built for our store. And so we have a lot of power users who are playing a lot of games.
Is that like the younger sort of audience?
I don't have the age data. I myself am not the world's biggest gamer, but there are a handful of games like Crypto Fantasy League that I've myself have started to use a lot. So yeah, I don't know exactly who's doing it. But
my girlfriend's seen me play some of the games on there, and she's like, "What are you?"
Centric trader-focused professional apps, or
definitely DGen user, and we definitely have those.
So now what we're going to jump on is really the airdrop announcement. Let me find it for you guys.
But there's a lot of people that kind of traditional.
That's great. That's kind of the decentralization of funnel playing out in real time, which is actually one of the fundamental ethos of why you did this in the first place.
Totally.
That was very validating.
I wouldn't have expected that, but now that you say it, it kind of makes sense that people who are very skeptical of the industry as a whole, maybe saw sort of headlines in 2022 and thought, "I'm."
All right, the video is quite long, but basically what's been announced is that yesterday, 21st of January 2026, we will be seeing the airdrop of the Seeker token. And so let's go in, look at their website. So as you can see here, really, really interesting to see that 30% actually of the token will be dropped today. So yesterday, sorry. So all the users, all the people that really have access to the phone will be airdropped these tokens. And I mean, if we're talking about 30%, I mean, it's a massive, massive amount. I don't really remember the Solana actually, but I think at the beginning of Solana, when they were launching the token, the community got really little. But here, I mean, we can really see that, the team is really focusing on the community, focusing as well, of course, on the growth and partnership. If we just sum these two up, we're at 50% of the ecosystem. that is really, focusing on making sure that the developers are getting it and that the users are getting it. So big heads up to the guys at Seeker. I think they're doing a wonderful job. If we're looking a bit at the unlock schedule as well, we can see, of course, that there's a lot of cliff happening for the team, for the Solana Labs, but as well for the growth and partnership. So this is really making sure that the token is not just being dropped. I mean, the token had of course a spike like every airdrop, but it's really going on the rise, and I think that's a fantastic example of bringing hardware into a permissionless ecosystem. So let's have a look now at another interesting short video that was shared to me by a colleague. So a little bit outside of the normal scope that we're looking at, but I think very, very interesting. So that was an interview of Larry Fink. It's very short, but I think it'll make you smile and really give us an insight of where the industry as a whole is going.
But now let's go into the future. What are some of the mega trends that are going to reshape investing, asset management as you look forward?
I mean, there's two, but they're all interconnected, and that's going to be AI and tokenization of financial assets. So digital assets, those are the two mega trends that are.
So why I think this video is very powerful. Of course, BlackRock is really not so much, let's say, crypto, but I think it's a theme that we've seen during the last two episodes where tokenization is really, taking a very, very important space. We've seen Remora doing it. We've seen Xstocks doing it on Solana. And if we have, one of the biggest financial firm, really BlackRock, mentioning it, I think it's fire. So let's finish the video.
Going to totally reshape financial services. I had a lunch today with a very prominent former finance minister, central bank, very prominent guy. And he wrote a big paper on tokenization.
Right.
And he would say, he couldn't say it in his former role, but he would say it today as a private citizen. The banking system is being left behind in so many ways through technology.
But now,
I mean, I think the end of the chat here says it all. We are now in a world where technology is really at the core of everything, and banks, of course, are massive institutions that will take a lot of time to adjust to really where the market is going. And tokenization, of course, will be helping, but I don't think this will be mainly for the companies that will be doing it. Won't be, necessarily the banks, but they will need outsiders. They'll need brand new projects like Solana and the different programs on Solana are building, tokenizing all sorts of real world assets. And it's going to happen on so many different chains, not only Solana, but when BlackRock really talks about tokenization, we can see that it's not anymore an experiment. It's really something happening. So really, really cool to see. So now let's go into another nice little report that I've seen. So it's a bit outdated, if we would say, but we're talking about here the Rockaway report on why Solana. So as you might know, Rockaway has been actually acquired by Soulmate recently. It was discussed at the breakpoint. But I still think that this report really gives us very good insights on why they've decided to go full on Solana. Again, we can see that tokenization is being talked about. So I'll share the report in the show note. It's just whysolana.com. And what is really seeing here is that the internet has been used for, of course, the last 30 years, and many companies have raised from it. But one of the bits that hasn't really been impacted yet by technology is really the finance. And this is why Solana is going and is becoming really the internet capital market. And again, we can see that everything they're talking about is tokenization. So transforming, content, transforming anything as really a token, something that lives on chain. And here, why is Solana the biggest and the place where we see the most potential? It's the youngest, as we can see here, but as we won't see any tokenization on the Bitcoin blockchain. Ethereum is good, but of course it is extremely slow. And we're talking about 30 transactions per second, whereas if we want to integrate with the likes of Stripe or Nasdaq, they're more in the 2,000 transactions per second range. And we can see that Solana can do this already now. And with all the upgrades they're doing, we can actually achieve now in the range of 50K. So very interesting. In here, we're seeing again, why is Solana the place where tokenization will happen? Simply because it's the most used. If we're looking at the number of active addresses, transaction counts, but as well the revenue. So Solana in June 25 was making, about 65 million of revenue that is being shared to the token stakers. So really, we can see all the bits and pieces, the fact that tokenization is happening, the fact that liquid staking is taking on, and overall, all the users of Solana are really believing in the chain, staying staked, and making sure that everything is staying on chain. So really, really good report. So once again, why Solana.com, and thank you to the Rockaway team to push this type of content for us to look at. So now, actually, this brings us to, if we look at the transition, the one element that I think kind of resonate with what we were talking about last time of, okay, we want to get yield. Maybe we're tokenizing a stock and then we're looping it. But if we look a bit more in the real world asset, one use case that I found very interesting, and this was mentioned again in the Why Solana Global podcast, we're going to be looking quickly at Onry. Onry is a reinsurance business. So it's basically the insurer of the insurer. And these guys have decided that it's now time to be on chain. So now if we look at Onry, so I think it's a very, very interesting product. Like I said, institutional grade yield backed by real world reinsurance. So really the insurer of the insurer. So it's kind of the oldest, business. And as we can see here, they're giving us, a 9% yield on their token. And the beauty of it is really that, there is actually a business behind that is giving us the yield, and it's not just inflation or tokenomics. So very, very interesting one. It's a business that I've been hearing across different podcasts and reports. So one thing that we're going to be doing quickly here is just to show you the onboarding. I think oftentimes we're saying, okay, yeah, it's good. We have now access to this yield, but actually what's happening is that the process is sometimes very, very complicated. And what we can see here is that actually it's super, super simple. So I just logged in, and now if we're going here, that's it. Literally, if you want to get the 9.27%, you just you connect your Solana wallet, drops are USDC, and just buy some Onry token, and that's it. Your yield starts. So really, really interesting use case backed by actual business behind. So kudos to the team. So now if we continue a little bit, if we now finish actually today's talk with another cool video, it's going to be this one, where we're going to be, again, as some of you remember, we have the guys at Solana Flora Breakpoint, and now we have two wonderful guests. So we have Warbucks and Quicks. So Warbucks, we watched a video from him last time, and Quicks is from Solana Floor. So let's say what from Solflare. Sorry, let's see what these guys have to add.
Warbucks here. I am super excited for this one. We've got. I mean, do we have the most famous Fox on?
Well, I'll tell you what. That's
Let's
for
see
sure
this.
what it says on my new hardware wallet, the Solflare Shield. That's for sure what it says.
I mean, we're 15 seconds in the talk, and we can already see that the guys are showcasing their brand new product. So already the new branding of Solflare, I think they launched like maybe 8 months ago. Really cool branding that Quicks is wearing now on the jacket. And I mean, this wallet, I mean, let's have a look what it is.
The most famous Fox.
Yeah.
Prepared?
I have. I also have some bookmarks from the Famous Fox account quoting me as the most famous Fox. It was started as a little joke because no one was rocking the Fox PFP, and I saw it as a really family-friendly brand. It was cute IP. I thought, it was an amazing project, Solana OGs, and
of course.
Yeah, I took it to the next level. And I own the IP rights, so Drax can't sue me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they were definitely OG. They were definitely OG. And one of the things that we want to talk about is like your rise in the Solana ecosystem. I feel like I knew you. I followed you before. I had famous Foxes, so I was like, this guy must be pretty cool. But I'd say over the last year, it's like you become like a staple in Solana. Like, do you want to talk about like how you did that? Do you want to tell us, like, maybe tell anyone else that is looking to kind of follow your footsteps, give a little alpha on how you did that? And I mean, it's paying off. Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah, well, first of all, I appreciate all the support that you've shown me. It means the world to me. And so I started hosting spaces back in like 2020, 2021. And I was denied useless. Thank you, Frank. And that really.
Me too. Me too.
Okay. Oh,
Me
that's
too.
why we were bonding.
Me too. We can.
I got my use list.
Yeah.
You got
Okay.
it?
I got the use list.
Did you keep the NFT though?
No, I am loyal to P&L. I'm loyal to P&L. I'm sorry. I love the
Maxi.
IP. Profit Maxi, yeah.
I respect it. That's why they call you Warbucks.
Yeah, the bucks.
But it's really interesting because the most beautiful thing about the space that we're in is not only is it self-custody. That's why I truly believe in what Solflare is doing. I think self-custody is the basic human right. I was just explaining to Warbucks outside. No matter where you're in the world, I feel like financial institutions and payment rails have failed you.
I mean, I think this is very powerful. So what he's basically saying is that you should be in charge of your money, and I think this really goes back to the Bitcoin ethos. Back in 2009, where Bitcoin was launched, it was really kind of okay. Let's go against the bank. Financial system has failed us, and let's become our own bank. And now we're seeing it, of course, across the whole crypto space. But oftentimes we forget that if our coins, if our tokens are on exchanges, well, it's not really ours. So I think this product that Solflare has launched is very powerful. So let's have a quick look of actually what it looks like. Let's go on Solflare and let's see what the guys are. All right. So what is it? All right, it already looks good. So Solflare Shield hardware wallet. You've got a pretty cool one. You can customize your own. I think this is what he did. I don't know if you would put your face like this with your cat, but I mean, why not? And so something very, very easy to use. Everything is in this card, and you basically tap to confirm. So it's using, I guess, NFC technology where you're tapping behind, and the transaction gets validated, and that's it. Your wallet goes. So your keys are not on your app; they're really on your card, and it's really cold storage. So very, very good product, I would say. Looks very cool, and the whole Solflare ecosystem. I mean, I don't know if you guys have a Solflare wallet, but it's very sleek, very easy to use. If you're using as well, from the laptop, you can have integrations directly with Solflare where you validate the transaction directly from your phone and safely. So really, really well done to the Solflare guys. So let's finish a bit the video and see if they have anything else that is very cool to talk about. Maybe a little bit more of their story and yeah.
But it also it translates over to your personal brand. We have a very unique opportunity to build up your own personal brand. And
I think we've seen it when you can do your unique Solflare hard wallet. So you're just basically putting your own picture or your NFT. So again, branding is everything, and be your own person. You have your own bank account. You're your own bank. You don't depend on anyone, and you can even showcase it on your cool hardware wallet.
Create your own market value. And so I started hosting spaces, and I've always been an extremely hard worker. Before this, I was working for Red Bull, like 5 a.m. I was out with my truck.
I'm on 2 right now, so
I
didn't know that. That's cool. That explains the energy, honestly.
Well, I don't even drink them, honestly. I'm powered by Solana.
He doesn't need them.
Yeah.
Don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah, that's very true. You get over it after a while,
Yeah.
But I had an opportunity to become a Solflare ambassador.
Yeah.
And I just took it really seriously. I wasn't asked to, run my spaces. It said the Moon Show powered by Solflare. I would do resets like and repost, download Solflare wallet. And so the team really respected that. But I had a moment of clarity, I would say, and it was like something was compelling me to make it to Breakpoint 2024 in Singapore last year. That was my first Breakpoint. And so I quit my job at Red Bull. I moved to Thailand because it was close to Southeast Asia and it was fiscally, possible to live there.
So you just went all in.
I went all in. And a week after being locked in, I was brought on to Solflare as a support specialist. So I was taking tickets. We have 24/7 customer support. I got myself to Breakpoint. A week before Breakpoint, I got accepted to Island DAO. Thank you guys again.
Yeah.
And so I was so relieved because I was like, at least I know there's a game plan after Breakpoint. At least I know I have a safety net I can fall back on. So I just took it to the
I mean, I think pretty impressive story. 2020, end of 2024, we're now early 2026, a year and a half, and Quick's really rised to the top of the crypto game. Everyone knows him. And I think this is what crypto is all about. If you work hard, if you're there, if you're in the community, in the trenches, and then you're building something very useful and interesting, away from maybe just the meme coin that are getting crazy and one day is going up, the next day is out, and no one cares about the project anymore. I think it really shows resilience, and I think this is why as well, maybe the institutions are now curious about Solana. They say, okay, there's way more to the story than just these meme coin, and there's actual product, people dedicated. There's a real community, as we've seen with the Seeker phone, with Solflare wallets and the new product they're launching. So yeah, overall, I think the Solana ecosystem has a very, very big potential. So yeah, I think that's it for today. A bit of a different format with me flying solo today, but I hope you got a lot of insights across the different news, everything that has happened today across the week. And yeah, I'll be linking everything in the show note, and I look forward to catching up with you next week. All right, talk soon. Ciao, ciao.